Welcome everyone to AXPulse webinar series. This webinar is all about query parameters, which are used in Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. I would like to take an opportunity and thanks everyone for viewing this series. My name is Afnan Zarif and I'm a senior technical consultant at AXPulse. Before jumping on to the topic, I will give you some insights about AXPulse. AXPulse is a global consulting firm that helps organizations improve people and process management by leveraging Microsoft technologies. We have a vast experience of implementing software solutions in mid and small size industries. At AXPulse, we understand that business value cannot be achieved through the technology alone. It starts with people, experts working together to get to the heart of your individual business objectives and develop the most adapted solution to fit these requirements. We believe this human centered approach to technology is what makes the difference for your business. eXpulse enables you to transform your organization and improve performance by adopting the world class Microsoft technologies like Microsoft Dynamics 365, Microsoft Dynamics AX, Dynamics CRM, Dynamics Nav, Azure, Power BI, and others. We aim to empower you to respond more quickly and intuitively to changing market dynamics using proven technologies and solutions purposely built with industry's best practices. Our approach is focused on giving you the clarity to make the right decision and take the right actions. Our approach is grounded in perspective, the kind that comes from our deep experience working on wide range of industries, but more important, our perspective begin at eye level with a clear understanding of your organization, the way you work, your goals, and your challenges. We work hand in hand with our clients and Microsoft to create and deliver business and technology solutions that fit their needs and drive the results they want. We have completed 100 plus projects and a team of 40 plus certified consultants working with us. Let's move on to the vision agenda of this webinar. D365, a complete shift on web platform as compared to its predecessor Dynamics series. On the web, a query string is a part of Uniform Resource Locator, commonly known as URL, containing data that does not fit conveniently into hierarchical path structure. URL parameters are parameters whose values are set dynamically in page's URL and can be accessed by its template and its data sources. This makes page incredibly dynamic, enabling a single page to empower an endless number of views. In terms of URL parameters in Dynamics 365 for finance and operations, I categorize them in two categories: dependent parameters and independent parameters. Dependent parameters are the kind of parameters which work in conjunction with other supportive parameters. One of the best examples is class parameter, which requires a menu item parameter to execute. We will review both of them in upcoming slides shortly. Independent parameters, as its name suggests, are the kind of parameter which does not require any supportive parameters. Theme parameter is one of the examples. Let's review all of them. We have we have almost 14 different parameters type acceptable to Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. Starting with F, it represents a form. This parameter is used to launch forms directly without navigating to menu items. As shown in the example over here, I've supplied a form name cost free invoice, which actually represent a free text invoice list page. Once the value has been passed to form parameter, it lists all the free text invoices related to company USMF. Next in the list we have menu item, which opens up or execute objects tied to it. Like over here, I pass display menu item cust group, which is tied to form customer groups, and it lists down all the customer groups defined under USMF company. Following menu item in our list, we have company, which is used to view data tied to legal entity. This parameter will always appear in your D365 for finance and operations URLs and gets defaulted with the default company defined in user option. You can provide different company value to quickly jump onto the other data. As in the example over here, all customer groups which are related to USMF are listed over here. If I can if I provide a different value besides USMF, all the other customer groups which are falls under that legal entity will be shown over here. After company, we have partition. That is utilized when we have data partitions enabled in our implementation. It is normally hidden. This one is for debugging and development purposes. By passing develop and debug parameter, it allows you to debug applications using web client. Once debugging mode is enabled, a little indicator is visible next to the current legal entity on the top over here as shown in the example. And if I click on that little indicator, it gives you more details on client performance as shown in the right window over here. Moving on to the next in our list, we have class, which is a dependent parameter, and it requires an action menu item named sysclassRunner to work. It is normally used for runnable classes. As you can see over here, I passed a class value, exp positive paste sample format, and a menu item sysclassRunner, which is a type of action. And after executing the class, I got a little pop-up over here, which is as shown over here in the example named as called. Activity ID is intended for internal purpose only. It is mainly used for troubleshooting. Microsoft normally use this activity ID to track some troubleshooting or to give support. Limited navigation is another example of independent parameter. If you are afraid that you might accidentally navigate to a form which you shouldn't be in that case you can use the limited nav URL parameter to minimize this risk. As shown in the example over here, I pass on the value true in limited navigation parameter, and it's hide all the other menu items like menu items and display information such as legal entity over here and other parameters. Also, you can see the quick menu over here is also hidden. This parameter takes all navigation possibilities away. Next, we have table name in our list. It also falls under the category of dependent parameter. This is used to view table data mostly used by developers and technical teams. As you can see over here, I pass on the customer group, which is the name of the table, and a menu item of type display named as systable browser. It, it listed me all the customer groups present in USMF company. You can switch the company and provide a different values to get the different view of data in other legal entity. Moving on to query, indicators as queue, which is used in deep links. Deep links helps users to share a record or query within AX with other people. For example, over here, I'm on sales order list page. I filter down some sales orders based on some supplied filtered values, and I want to share that particular data set with other colleague in the same company. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna generate a deep link, and as if you notice over here, a small query value has encrypted data, which is a form of query. And once that particular deep link is shared with that user, he or she will be able to see the same kind of data filtered on her sales order screen. Next in the list is mode parameter, which allows Dynamics 365 for finance and operations to be run in trial or mobile mode. If the value is trial is specified, then a trial version starts and the value mobile gives the user the possibility to access functions for the creation of mobile applications. Hide splash, another example of independent parameter, which is used to hide splash screen loaded while launching Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. Over here, as you can see, if I've provided a value of true in hide splash, and once my Dynamics 365 screen is loaded, I was not able to see the splash screen. Then we have language, which is used to switch between different available languages. As shown in the example over here, by passing DE in the language parameter, which is normally known as German language, it, it turns all the labels into German languages. It is great for demos and training purposes. As we all know, default language can also be set under user options. And lastly, we have theme parameter, which enables you to choose among different color styles. You can pass the value in the form of numbers to switch. Like in the example over here, I pass on number 8 in the theme parameter, and it turns the quick menu access into green from blue. This option can also be defaulted under the user options. That's all I have in my list for now, and this brings us to the end of our webinar. I hope you have enjoyed it and found the content of value. Thank you very much for joining us.